So I picked up this ATOTO A6 PF. It's reconditioned. I think it should be around about 215, 220 plus delivery, and this was all in £113 delivered to the door. So and here we have the unit itself. So obviously the first thing we need to do is to get this old thing out. So here we have the connector I bought in addition to the kit, and here's the connector that was supplied with the kit, and it connects in this way. These other connectors are for the likes of steering and rear camera feeds and stuff, so we may or may not need those, we don't know yet. I've plugged everything in, well, just the aerial and the main connector, no other ancillaries connected, and I'm going to switch on the ignition just to position 1. Nothing happens so far. There we go. Now I know a thing or two about these. I have seen a couple of them, and the first thing that's going to really annoy me is that there's a beep on every button press, and I'd like to find out where that switches off. Device, sound, touch sound, there we go. So it was in device, sound and touch sound. Do you know, I'd really like to just check out the radio. Is that the radio? Yeah. I don't suppose the volume works, is it? No. Steering controls don't work just yet. I'll play with those at a later time. Well, I can already tell you this is picking up a lot more stations than I normally do. Okay, fixing this in. That looks like those fixing ears have been set back far enough. I did have to alter the screw placings. And what you've got to fix it to, you're very limited to in the Transit. There is, if we take this back out again, it's just this framework of plastic, and we've got one screw on either side. I've taken that one out, and that's it. It's not an awful lot to fix to, so I'm going to use these screws. So those screws went in okay. They are at a funny angle, but it's really rigid. I don't think that's a problem. Let's just talk about this surround. It came with the harness adapter, which seems to work fine, and should sit flush with the rest of the dash, but it won't sit flush at the bottom. It will always sit proud because there's a little knobby thing at the bottom. So I will notch out a little bit of this cheap surround. So with the ATOTO, there are 3 cables that come from the harness supplied by ATOTO that are labelled as SWC steering wheel control ground, and then we've got a steering wheel key hashtag positive and a steering wheel key without the hashtag positive. And what we need to connect for the Ford Transit are just the ground and the one without the hash key. And where do they connect? That's the important thing as well. Well, this is all without any sort of CAN bus things, but these 2 cables come to the original loom and connect it to the old Ford stereo. And what they do is attach to 2 cables that actually at the back of the connector you see a green and a grey, which is the earth, and a blue and white, which is the live. So with these cables dodgily connected and temporarily for the steering wheel controls, and with our ATOTO fired up and our factory fitted steering wheel controls there, what you do is you find steering wheel control. So you'll find it either by clicking this icon, steering wheel setup, or steering wheel control setup, or going to the settings, go into general, and somewhere in here you scroll down. Yeah, scroll down to within general, steering wheel, set up steering wheel audio key, and you'll come to this section. I've already set the items, but this section won't work unless those cables are connected properly. And then you can press a button, and at the same time, while you're holding down the button on this, whichever corresponds, you can keep holding it down and then press the corresponding icon, and it will turn grey like those have. The reason I'm not going to do it just now is that I'm holding the phone and you need 2 hands to do this. So I'm just going to save and exit. And if we go to home and say we play something, well, this is going to be just static, which is appropriate for YouTube because there's no aerial connected. And we can turn the volume down using the button, obviously, but can we do it with this? And you should be able to see as I press the button. It's not working. So it's got confused, and the up, there we go, Yeah, these connections are dodgy, but basically it does work, but I just need to firm up these connections. No CAN bus involved, it is just connecting those cables. Just do a proper job, solder or a decent connector, and you'll be fine. And a lot easier than I've seen other people try and make it out. But this certainly works for the ATOTO A6.